Mega Man has been around since the 80s and is a fantastic series that has seen lots of series, side games, spin-offs, and all other kinds of gaming-related merchandise. Capcom has treated the series how Nintendo treats their Mario, as a flagship title that garners polish and a never-ending stream of sequels. So for the 30th anniversary, Capcom announced that the Blue Bomber would be making a return, and a year later, here we are with the result, Mega Man 11. So before we begin, I want to thank all of you for watching and remind you that I have a Patreon that you can join by following the link in the description. Let's go!
I strongly believe Albert's research must stop.
Light! We can't build the future on your empty optimism.
Say what you will, I cannot agree to this. Please listen.
No, you listen to this! At every turn, you've ignorantly blocked my research!
Mr. Wily, control yourself. I see the committee is in agreement. And so, the department chooses Thomas Light's research into robots with independent thought. Thank you, everyone.
Why are you fools so blind? One day, Light. One day the world will know I was right all along. Bad memories make the worst dreams. A genius of my caliber needs sleep to keep his brain in gear. Wait. That research from my youth. Yes! Now I'll show you, Light!
Mega Man 11 is a love note to the fans of the series. It did change several aspects of the game though. But once again we are left with 8 robot masters, tough stages to fight, enemy spamming, and a boss rush at the end of this game. The game begins with the story. Dr. Light is performing maintenance checks on the robots, and while he was preparing for the next one, Dr. Wily busts in and turns the robots evil once again. We hear about the double gear that he and Dr. Light had worked on at university. The voice acting and animations are fluid in these scenes. The real highlight for me though is the music. I guess it makes sense that in a series named Rockman, the music would be consistently good. Even at their worst, the Mega Man games have had amazing music, and considering it is named after a genre of music in Japan, this makes sense. The synth-pop soundtrack by Marika Suzuki is mesmerizing for a lack of a better term. The music gets you pumped and ready to take on the game. Once the game was off, I ended up listening to the soundtrack on my own in my spare time. Seriously, I love this soundtrack. Definitely contender for Game Music of the Year in my opinion. This, along with animation and decent voice acting, is a level of polish I love to see. When the game was first announced, the footage released did not look that great to me. The final product is, however, a great surprise. I mean, do you hear this? Doesn't it get you pumped? After the opening cinematic, you are given the freedom to enter any of the 8 Robot Master stages. And like in other Mega Man games, picking them in the proper order will make the game far easier to make it through. The Robot Masters are Block Man, Acid Man, Impact Man, Bounce Man, Fuse Man, Tundra Man, Torch Man, and Blast Man. After defeating each Robot Master, you receive their weapon to use in later stages. Also, you collect bolts to buy items along your way, and have a new mechanic known as Double Gear. The double gear gives you access to full-powered weapon blast, or the ability to slow down time for the trickier situations. The mechanic works well enough, but has the flaw of not being used enough. There are plenty of sections where the mechanic is meant to be used, but after 10 games, you may find yourself just going through these parts at normal speed, not realizing that it was designed around slowing down the flow of time. The slide mechanic can be mapped to a button press, and also you can map rapid fire, which helps make the game a little easier. You will find yourself being chased down, having to make your way through objects as you are being chased. Also, you will have to outrun a wall of fire in one stage. I definitely had to use the gear here. The controls are fluid and I experienced absolutely zero slowdown anywhere in the game. There's another important thing to mention. The performance is silky smooth and I had no issues at all. This is nice as the older games had laggy situations due to the hardware of the time, but no longer is this a worry. You will find yourself blasting your way through all 8 Robot Masters in no time. There's also a levity to the game, and you will hear pop culture references throughout your experience. The best one to me was the Pink Floyd one, where Blockman told me I was doing good, but
You're just another brick in the wall!
yes, a Pink Floyd reference in Mega Man. The game handles the awkward moments well, and even has an entire stage that is purely comical. I could see some reviewer taking points away for this, but to me I found it charming, and the game earns points for this inclusion. E-tanks make a return from the earlier games, and you can use them to refill your life meter. Also there are the weapon energy drops that help refuel your weapons. Gears will drop from time to time as well, which I believe restores your double gear if you are in a cooldown period, but I did not test this myself, so I do not know for sure. Some series mainstays include disappearing blocks you must jump on, reminiscent of the Heatman stage in Mega Man 2, many reoccurring characters, and even recurring bosses from throughout the series. All in all, I would say if you enjoyed Mega Man, then this is definitely worth the lower price, and although you might not like some changes, such as making you land before going through gates, or the overall lower difficulty compared to earlier entries, you should at least have a good time with the level of polish missing in many other series. I would die if Konami cared enough about its franchises like Silent Hill or Castlevania to polish a new entry to this level. With that said, I will save my final thoughts for the timestamp on screen now. We are getting into spoilers. The story opens with talks of something Wily created in university. This is the double gear. He plans to use it against you in a bit of vengeance. Halfway through your adventure, you get an item upgrade and some nice dialogue.
Doctor, is something wrong?
The double gear system. It was so very long ago. It was on that day, Wily and I had our falling out. He quite literally threw a wrench in our gears. We were students then, each pursuing robotics research in our own way. Each of us was passionate about forging the way ahead.
Then after you defeat all 8 of the Robot Masters, you are able to go take on Dr. Wily.
Otto, do you have any idea where Wily's gone to?
He's totally vanished, Mega Buddy! Maybe he decided to turn tail and run!
What is it, Otto?
There's someone hijacking our signal!
Could it be?
Indeed it could! My genius neither runs nor hides!
Wily!
But first, you have several stages, 4 total that you have to play through to finish. You will find yourself using the double gear in these stages as they have many situations that are not practical for real time. You will also find even more disappearing blocks. Knowing how to harm enemies throughout these stages are your best chances of survival. At the end of the first stage, you are greeted with familiar face. Yes, that's right, the Yellow Devil makes an appearance. And he can be difficult if you do not know what to do. I saved my time gear for when his eye opened and spammed his eye, that way giving me more hits to take him out. A frustrating boss fight if you do not know to do this, but Mega Man is all about trial and error after all. In the second stage, you will be faced with conveyors, and enemies only vulnerable from their backside. Explosive bombs are needed to get past some of the stage as well. It really is a kind of a collection of everything you have done already. You will have to outrun this giant spiked robot twice, and you would benefit from using the speed gear. Avoid the spikes laid throughout the stage and you should make it to the boss room. Before you reach the boss room, you will have to climb rapidly as the spiked robots close in on you. If you fail, you die instantly. So here we are, finally through it. And in comes Marvern. Such an intimidating... oh well, never mind. Get wrecked. Next we have to fight all 8 of the Robot Masters again. So to begin, let's discuss their weaknesses. Bounce Man is super weak to the pile driver, which will make quick work of him. Or her, and then you can move on to Fuse Man, who is vulnerable to the bullet hell of the bouncing balls. Yes, use balls to defeat him. On to Tundra Man, whose weakness is Scramble Thunder. And if you run short there, just use Chain Blast to finish him off like the chump he is. The Tundra Storm will easily kill Torchman in a few hits if you use the power gear with it. Blastman proves to be a tad harder, but the Burning Torch will make quick work of him for you. Chain Blast will wreck Blockman if you use the normal attack, but don't use the overpowered one because it is slow and hard to land on him. Use Block Drop on Acid Man to smash his acidic personality to the ground, and Acid Barrier to put Impact Man to sleep for good. Once you are done with these, you go into one more stage, which is fairly easy to get through. Just ride the belt to the gate to face the final boss, Dr. Wily. This is a joke, honestly. He can kill you if you aren't prepared, sure, but the first phase requires you to jump on the missiles, then blast him with the acid barrier. You can easily lay him out to an early defeat if timed properly, or if using the speed gear to slow down time. Once done with that, you will face the true final fight of the game. Just hit him as often as possible with all you've got. He will go down. Weak to thunder and chain blast, you can choose to use other weapons to take him down, using the speed advantage of the pile driver. Once defeated, you get this.
Give up, Wily.
You leave me no choice. Time for Plan B. Spare me! I'm a helpless old man. Mercy, Mega Man.
Enough! You can't fool me that easily.
Drat! But don't act so cocky. I didn't lose to you. I lost to my own technology, my double gear. I'm the greatest. I'm a genius.
My. Will you never learn from your mistakes?
Light! What are you doing here? You You plagiarist!
Open your eyes, Wily. Look at Mega Man and tell me what you see.
All I see is the instrument of my downfall.
Mega Man wields tremendous power, but he has the intelligence to use it wisely. He's your vision and mine combined. If our ideas, our gears, could mesh together, Mega Man would be the result. We achieved this together. It's not too late, Albert. Atone for your crimes and join me again.
Silence! My plans have only just begun, you fool! And I won't stop until I see both of you kneeling before me in utter defeat!
Hold it, Wily!
Remember this! Dr. Wily always strikes again! Farewell!
Wily!
My old friend, perhaps our gears will never mesh together.
So that is the end of spoilers, so here I would give my final thoughts. Mega Man 11 does a good job of polishing the game and keeping true to the Mega Man formula. Awesome weapons are given and the characters are funny. The mini-bosses can be an explosive roller coaster and the music is mesmerizing. I give this game an 8 out of 10. I don't think this game is the best in the series. To me, that will always be Mega Man 2. But what this game has done is reinvigorate a love and passion for the series and makes me confident in 12 being a good game whenever it is released. So Capcom, are you going to do an X9? I would die if you did that. Go get this if you haven't already. It's worth the $30. And also pick up the anniversary collections of Mega Man. These games are fantastic and you won't regret it. So this is the part of the video where I say thank you to all of you who are watching. Thank you all for watching. Remember to smack that like button, comment on the video, share with your friends, and subscribe for more weekly reviews every Friday. This video has been an absolute labor of love, and I am so happy we did this together. Also, go sign up to my Patreon in the link below to support the channel. It really means so much to me, every little bit you guys do. Until next time, this is Houdini Fontmeister, signing out. Stay nerdy.